It's going to get late.
Hello and welcome to another Atomic Cards video. We're back doing the pod. It's very exciting. But we have got with us, you can't see it, it's the Defence of the North. Lee, give it a smell. Go on. You but smell. What a great day.
Beat it. Cannot beat it.
Hopefully lots of people have got these now because obviously it came out over the weekend. Anyone who pre-ordered it Saturday should have arrived in the post. Cheers for that, lads. I was very busy during the week sending them all out. So yeah, we're just going to kind of quickly flick through, have a chat about stuff and things and do that. Bit of background. Lee, if you don't know, plays lots of Dale stuff sometimes. And lots of dwarfy things. So he's bringing the daily dwarfy view into our eyes. Ross, you love your Easterlings.
I do.
And I'm here. That's about my level of contribution.
No. You're the Mordor side.
You're the Rizgush Mushgush.
Yeah. I have used them at least once, yeah. So it's okay. Yeah. The reason we didn't do one early or anything is because we wanted to actually like play with some of these things first and like talk about it properly before we did them. So that's why it's not as early as some other people's are. But maybe it's better. Who knows? You tell us. So we'll jump at the book. Let's get your lovely. So I just hit my mic right now. Lovely contents page. All the things that are in there. This thing is packed full of scenarios. There are 3 whole campaigns in here, which is really exciting if you're into all of the scenarios and the campaigns and all of that jazz. You will need a lot of the new models to do a lot of the scenarios, which is a bit, if it's a lot of investment. But it'll be really cool. They look really good. Some of them look like an awful lot of fun. Some of them look really hard. Some of them look really easy. So it's nice. We're hopefully going to play through a few of them on the channel. Probably not all of them, because it will take forever. What with there being 3 things, but I know that we definitely have like all the models for the Lothlorien and Goblin side of things. So we can start playing through that. Hopefully, maybe. And Lee and Ross will combine for some Dale Eastling stuff, maybe, if you fancy it.
Yeah, I've literally got all of the Hobbit good side stuff, but I like the chariot for like 1 mission. So yeah, I think we're just waiting on Ross to get these slings up.
Yeah, I should be able to do I can do the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Like I can do the first one straight away. It's just like the big ones. Obviously, we'll have to wait for the drakes to come out and all that sort of stuff. But I mean,
I've got some lizardmen stuff we can borrow.
We could always just, it's because obviously everyone's going up base sizes, which will come to and all that sort of stuff. But it's it's more likely to be one than the other, we think. So it
40 mil is probably it seems to be general consensus right now. But
I can do all the smaller ones. But yeah, it's just the drakes and that. So. Yeah. And obviously the big ones, but it's quite good in this book because there's quite a few bigger clashes and stuff. Really,
I apologise. I said Lothlorien earlier. It's definitely the Mirkwood stuff I meant, not the Lothlorien stuff. But yeah, it's all right. Just elves, didn't they? It's fine. But yeah, so that's all of that. There's then obviously the armies section, which is full of lots of lovely new models and things. The interesting points for those that were wondering, yes, there are Battle Companies warbands for a combined Erebor and Dale one, and also there's an Easterling one as well, isn't there? Black Dragon one, sorry to be specific.
Yes, so you got the Black Dragon and the non-Black Dragon.
Yeah, Black Dragon. He's got 2. So there are some new Battle Companies in there, which is cool. We always like more Battle Company content. What we're going to do is, instead of going for each model, because everyone's now seen all the models, and everyone's talked about the models quite a lot, if we jump straight into the legions and then we'll refer to the models when we can come to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first legendary legion in here is the Army of Dale. So Lee, you're up. So if I read what we can have and what we can do you want to give us your thoughts and feelings?
Yeah.
So we can have Brand, King of Dale, and Bard, Prince of Dale. So standard. A Captain of Dale. So yeah, the three standard heroes. Knights of Dale, which are the new ones. The Warriors of Dale. Does say you can have a banner in here, which is lovely. We like banners. Now you can have those. And then a Wind Lance. So Bard, Brand, Captain, Knights, Warriors, and Wind Lancers. You get special rules. So you've got Skilled Bowman, which is your normal Dale Legion bonus anyway. So you can have your shoot improved to 3+. And then you've got Protect the King. So you've got Swarm Protector on Brand. That's it. That's your Legendary Legion.
Yeah.
Same army bonus you normally have. And then Swarm Protector, Brand.
I think the only one small thing you missed is Brand has to be in the list.
Oh yeah, it must have Brand, yeah.
And he must be the
Must
leader.
be your leader. Yeah.
Yeah, so thoughts. Basically, if you're going to take the Wind Lance, because you can't take that in normal Dale because reasons. If you want the Wind Lance, you have to take this Legion. And so that's one thing. But if you're going to take Brand, then you will take this Legion. You won't take normal Dale because there's no point because the benefits you get. Swarm Protector's really good, actually, because Dale do struggle with their courage. You can hoard out on models. You do end up getting quite a few models, but you will still eventually break because you're only D5.
Yeah.
So Swarm Protector is actually really big. Passing courage tests when you're moving around on objectives and things it's actually really solid, and I think it's better than what people give it credit for. It's one of those that are subtly very good, but apart from that, like it's just a bit like there's just nothing that it's just missing something, it's just very bland. Like,
have you used the new heroes yet?
I have used the new heroes once.
And how did you feel about them?
Again, they're just a bit So I like the new heroes more in the next Legion we'll look at. Whereas in this, I think I would always probably still take Girion over Brand, especially at lower points. Because again, it gets awkward because at lower points you want Girion because of his shooting, but then higher points you won't go with this Legion anyway because it doesn't have enough juice at higher points. You would always then go to the next Legion that we'd look at higher points, in my opinion. So it's a weird sort of impasse. If you know you're playing against good versus evil of tournaments, then this might be better because you have got Swarm Protector. So that might be a factor. That's about all I can say. The Wind Lance itself as well, so I'll quickly go over that because that's one of the new things. It's fairly disappointing in my eyes. It's strength 10, but it's basically just a big crossbow, right? It scatters 3 inches, but there's no pushback, there's no AoE. You'll probably get like 1, maybe 2 turns of shooting in it max before lines clash, and you'll have in the ways and you can't shoot anything again anyway. And it's 75 points. And you don't re-roll, you don't get like the black arrow stuff, even though the model has a black arrow on it. So you don't get to re-roll your hits in the ways or anything like that. So again, I don't think I'd ever take Wind Lance. I think I would rather take 6 Bowman.
It's
instead of Wind Lance.
It's more expensive than the Bolt Thrower from Minas Tirith.
Yeah, which blows my mind. It blows my mind. I don't get it. Even the Isengard Ballista is 65 points, and that can shoot into combat, and it's got
in every single way.
It's like I just don't. It doesn't make sense to me. Even like the Ballista and like not the Assault and Helm's Deep, just a normal Ballista is way better than it. I don't. All right, it hits on the 3.
I suppose it's the hitting on the 3 that they're saying is why it's. I mean,
then,
even with like catapults and all that sort of thing, even though they are 4+, the amount of time they miss is a
Yeah.
lot. So
Yeah, I get it.
I
And
suppose
you are
I suppose
going
they're
to hit.
taking- I think just to make the Legion a bit better, I think it just should have had. I don't know, because there's a lot of people who don't like siege engines being in the game. Some people don't mind
Mm.
it. I suppose if there's, it's. I suppose the reason why the Legendary Legion is not just to like buff like Dale as a whole, is it? It's more as an incentive
No.
to try and encourage you to take the new heroes. That's all it's really there
Yeah.
for.
Correct.
Otherwise you'd just be taking Girion or whoever, and just because it makes more sense. So it's just it's not meant to be as like a direct replacement, and this is now Dale when it's not.
No.
It's just trying to make that side of things better. But
Yeah.
I just think I don't know. I just think it could have just been made just a little bit more better if it did have something that just made you want to take the Wind Lancers more. So whether that's just something like, I don't know,
Just rerolls to hit or
ones to
something, so they're
wound,
super
rerolling ones
reliable.
to wound maybe.
Yeah.
Rerolling
It
ones
doesn't
to
even
wound
need
maybe.
reroll to wounds, just rerolls to hit.
No.
So that
Rerolls
it's
to
just,
hit.
just like guaranteed hits or something, basically, isn't it?
Done.
Hit on
But
freeze,
something for the
rerolling.
Wind Lance anyway. Because
Just like
you're meant to be taking it for this Legion. That's why it's in there in the first place. So
exactly. So they would incentivize you to take that Wind Lance, and at the moment you just wouldn't. You'd much rather have 6 bowmen. Like I don't. Yeah, it just makes no sense to me because like just rerolling hits that would be enough for me. I think reroll hits like all right, you're more than likely always going to hit with it, but then you've still got a scatter, and like to hit your target it's still only a 1 in 6.
I mean, I
or 1 in
suppose the
5
one
if you get
thing with
lucky.
the whole you can take your 6 bowmen instead is that you can actually obviously you can max out your bow limit and then put a Wind Lance in or 2.
Yeah,
So I guess
I
is that
guess so.
where.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and
thoughts on Knights of Dale quickly?
Yeah, the Knights of Dale I do like. I do like a lot because they're courage 4 and they get their +1 to wound if they are charged, and their defense 6 and their fight 4. So I do like them. I do think they're strong, but at 11 points a pop, they are quite expensive.
Yeah.
When you think for 1 point more, you can get a dwarf. But again, let's go into the next one. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it depends how you would compare them to other 11-point units. So how would you, in comparison to Fountain Court, how you'd compare them to Acolytes, how you'd
I think
compare
it was the
them
Fountain Court comparison
that
I made.
elite unit is what it's meant to be, how you'd compare it to.
Yeah.
And obviously with them being in the Legion. So if you compare it to Fountain Guard, they've got Bodyguard, which is basically the same sort of thing as Swarm Protector. So they're the same in that sense. But you're just trading. I think they are fight 4, aren't they?
Yeah, they are fight 4. Yeah.
So essentially, you're trading the +1 to wound with the defense 7. I think that's literally the only difference.
Yeah.
So,
it is,
so yeah, in the Legion, they are, I would say, better. Definitely as a defensive thing. I think when you start getting into obviously the next Legendary Legion and all that sort of thing, they struggle a bit more in terms of their place and how you might fit them in. But in going on just pure Dale, I think they are almost an auto include. Not to say that you should have 12 or everything should be them, but I think they're just really good in the competitive sense, holding objectives, when you don't want them to move. I don't think they do as well in just one big long line. I think you need several lines in several angles because otherwise people are just going to walk around you and just be like, no, I can avoid that. I'm just going to, avoid that +1 to wounds. So
that's happened to me a lot.
So
you
yeah,
can,
they need to be
if you want to, you can watch a battle report that we did with Dale and Harrod, where we basically just sat there charging into not Knights of Dale and fighting the other stuff, letting the Knights of Dale charge me, because it's just
I've actually
Kinda-
used them a lot, actually, and I've used them at events as well last year when they first came out, and they were just They're good when the thing happens and it works, but very often it doesn't. I found you need all of them or none. If you have 5 or 6, doesn't work because they just avoid it. But then you can be clever with that, right? So it's all how you use
Yeah,
it. But
it depends. It depends what you're going against. Like I can see them being really good against things like Rohan, which is going to want to charge you all the time and get into you,
yeah,
and things like that. That are like, you know, they'll probably struggle against things like elves and stuff that can like stand back and shoot, and because obviously they're being D6 and all that sort of thing.
But then it
But,
combos
yeah.
quite nicely with a wind lance, right? So if people
Yeah.
want to stand back and shoot, great. I've got a wind lance pointing at you.
Mm.
But then,
So,
you're killing one thing at a time.
And the one thing it does go for the Windlands, going back to that quickly, is it is a way to deal with like fell beasts and monsters, which at the moment Dale just don't have. If there's a fell beast opposite you, basically you've lost. There's not much you can do against it, really. Especially if they got March, you're pretty much screwed.
Well, we'll
move on.
Yeah, we'll
The thing
definitely get
is-
a game up with them shortly.
definitely
so
takes-
see.
Definitely takes
Yeah.
a bit of finesse with them, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Move on.
Well, do you want me to come back to that one, Lee? So you've got a chance to have a break.
If you want to.
Yeah, we'll skip that one and come back to the next one. All right, we'll do the Bayornings. Quick and easy.
Cool.
Smash this one out. Right. It's real simple. You got Bayorn, you got Grim Bayorn, which is the same as Bayorn. Literally like the same profile, I think, like pretty much word for word. And then you've got Bayornings. So Bayornings are our new toy. They were billed as half trolls. They are not half trolls. So let me just quickly, Grim Bayorn. Yeah, he's like same. Cool.
Yeah, so
Bayornings.
he's close, but it's the bear wise that's the slight difference. But other than that, he's pretty much the same. So he's 1 fight less than Bayon. Bayon's fight 8. He's only fight 7. And then Bayon's got the berserk. So if he can charge, if he's able to charge, he has to charge. Whereas Grim Bayon doesn't have to do that. He's
Okay.
a lot more.
But
a lot
what
more
he
in
doesn't
control.
have noticeably is monstrous charge.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Bayornings. So they're 20 points. They're move 6, fight 5, 4 up shoot, strength 4, defense 4, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, and courage 5, which is lovely. And they can have either a hand and a half axe or a great bow, which is a strength 4 bow. And then you've got Burly and Woodland Creature. And you get a 6-inch banner from a bear. So there you go. And only
good.
Grim
They're good.
Bayorn can take them, not Bayorn.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
So
That's
you
standard.
can't have an army of them.
Guess it's timelines and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. But yeah,
You have to go into the Legendary Legion then. That's the juicy.
yes. Legend.
Yeah.
Well, Bayornings. First, like thoughts, feelings, anything exciting?
Yeah, they're going to be cool. I think you'll see them and people will have fun with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think outside the Legendary Legion, I think Grim Bayorn could be like a good drop for like a yellow ally.
So yeah, should we say that? So green allies with Frandy, so long as the
Yeah.
army's got Frandy, and then yellow with Army of the Dead.
I think Army of the Dead's yellow with everything, isn't aren't
Erebor Reclaimed, so long as Dane Ironfoot or Foreign a third of there, as in like Old Dane and Foreign a third of there.
Is that yellow or green?
Yellow.
they? Yellow. And that's keeping in with the timeline, isn't it?
And that's
Fangorn, Fellowship, Fiefdoms, Garrison of Dale, so long as you got Brand or Bard the second, Lothlorien, Minas Tirith, Misty Mountains, the Rangers, Rivendell, Rohan, the Shire, and Wild Men of Druidan. So you can yellow ally Grim Bayorn into your Hobbit army if you'd like to.
Spicy.
That could be fun.
Which
That
isn't a
could be
bad shout.
spicy.
Not a bad shout.
Yeah, that could be spicy.
So, and they don't have an army bonus.
No.
No, because technically the region that they're focusing on, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess
Okay.
that helps if you're allying them around. That helps.
Yeah, there's no concern about losing them.
No.
But yeah, I just think I would have really liked the buildings to be strength 5. That's all.
Yeah.
Aren't
Yeah.
the half trolls strength 5?
But-
Half trolls are strength 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Half throws strength 5.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But they don't have +1 to wound, I guess. So I guess these are
No,
strength.
but they're burly,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
these are the strength 4 burly. So yeah, these guys are technically strength
I know.
6, really, aren't they? Let's be honest.
yeah.
But like the Abercon Guard, isn't it? For Serpentard.
Yeah. All right.
Plus they
Yeah.
compete
Cool.
with-
Yeah. They're all right. Anyway, Legendary Legion. So yeah, Beorn, Grimbeorn, or Beornings. If the Beornings force includes both Beorn and Grimbeorn, then Beorn will be the leader. Friendly models can benefit from Beorn's heroic actions, and Beornings can benefit from Beorn's standfast. I guess he's got a rule that says they can't do that. It doesn't say there that Beorn can lead lead Beornings. So you could have a maximum of 15 Beornings ever. You've got Beorn, Grimbeorn, and 15 Beornings,
I'd assume so. By the sounds of
which
it.
is 700 points.
Bang on.
Okay. Which is what they so-called build and test these lists to, right? It's 700
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, I think Jay said before 700 points is it's what they design the game at.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying. Make it a nice round number. But anyway, bear models get a roll of d6. On a 5 up, the wound is ignored. Just so a point of fate has been spent. So a 5 up, feel no pain if you're into that kind of thing.
That's good.
That is
good.
very good. Both the bears get monstrous charge when they're a bear. Very good. Why
Also
is that
good.
not just in their profile? I guess you couldn't give it to Grimbeorn and not give it to Beorn, and then have to like change the whole Beorn profile. Yeah, but
Or it could be an appendix. What?
not there yet. They have resistant to magic as well, which is good because
Good.
otherwise they would just be spending the entire game transfixed. And they do not need to roll for skin changer; they can just transform at will.
That's pretty cool. Because it's a 4+, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you want to be having
yeah.
to change your light when you need it. And
And I have heard horror stories of people playing with it against like elf shooting because Beorn starts as a man, and so it's put Beorn down the table. He starts as a man. He's been unable to transform, and he's just been ripped apart by strength 3 bows because it's only defense 5.
Yeah.
So he
Will
just
be.
gets rinsed as a man. So yeah, that looks like fun. I don't expect it will be tearing up the competitive scene anytime soon. But it does
No.
look like a lot of fun. I will
Yeah,
probably pick
I
it up
agree.
just to play it and have fun.
Yeah.
Because yeah,
Yeah.
700 points, 2 big bears and 15 lads. Good laugh, innit?
It's fun. Good fun,
It
isn't
is
it?
a good laugh. It is a good
Yeah.
laugh. Like I said, I think the bears would be like an interesting drop into like a list of, something that might need it, like hobbits and all that sort of stuff.
It's a
The
shame.
hobbit having a leader like him.
The only reason why I wouldn't do it as hobbits, because I have hobbits, is they don't have monstrous charge. So I'd
Yeah.
rather go for Grey here.
That's what I was about to say. So I'm the same with Ministerief. Ministerief love dropping a big, like, mighty killing machine in because they actually lack a bit of hitting power.
Yeah.
If they had monstrous charge, that's what they would be.
Yeah.
At the moment, just get quiet. Like it's
Yeah.
They still don't
It's
replace him in
cheaper.
that role.
Yeah.
I mean, even Treebeard's slightly better, isn't he? But,
Potentially.
I suppose
He's more though, isn't he? I think.
I think he's better probably against bigger heroes,
Mm.
you know, especially with the crushing strength, and you're constantly doing like strength 10s. You know, even if I was going against like dwarves or something like that,
yeah.
and you've got Raw, for example, with his 2+ fate saves and all that sort of stuff. You're going against Goblin Prowler and I win the fight, and I'm doing right. I'm going to keep smashing and keep making sure I've got at least 7 wounds on him, and then I'll let you through as many fate rolls as you possibly can and see if you can survive.
Yeah.
So I think it's just one of those when he wins, especially against a hero, they will very likely die. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just depends on that threat, and I don't think Guahir has that sort of killing power. I think he's
No.
more of a bit more of a Swiss Army knife with his flight and getting around everywhere and still putting out decent damage. It just depends what you want, really. Depends on your play style, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree. Should we move on?
Yeah. I think
Sorry, I just the Grimbeorn and that their crushing strength special attack. Do you think that's good?
I think it can be good against a specific hero. Yeah.
All right. I think that looks
What does it do?
dodge.
On one
So
model.
if Grimbeorn
So-
wins a duel, instead of striking as normal, choose a losing model. That model suffers a strength 10 hit. If the wound roll is successful, it suffers another strength 10 hit, and so on until you fail to wound or the victim is dead.
Yeah, that's good.
Because it's one of those that I look at and go, it could be good, but how many times have you shot with Legolas or Girion and not hit on the first one?
Depends. Obviously, it's situational. I don't think you can
And if
use
it says, is that before fate, right? Because if the to wound roll is successful, they take another strength 10 hit. So
well,
is
you
that
keep
they take
if soon as you can die, you have to roll your fate, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's like they could just pass the fate on the first one and that's it. It stops, right? Or does it just keep going?
No, I don't think so. I
I
don't
think
think so.
it's
No,
got to
so
be
you
before
wound, they
fate,
pass
surely.
their fate, then you roll to wound again, then you take a wound, then you. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I just think it's one of those where it's like a 1 in 3 chance that you get another one, but you stop. So,
Well,
like,
it's the specific wording is if the to wound roll is successful.
yeah.
It's
So
not
it definitely
that.
goes like fate won't stop
So
it.
you roll it, right? That's to wound. So I'll roll again. That's to wound.
Yeah.
That's to roll again. Roll again. Roll again. Roll again. Right, I failed. I could mite it. Do I want to mite it? Yeah, I'll mite it. Okay, well, I'll keep going. It's not get anymore.
I
It's
actually
not
think that's okay.
goes through.
I actually think that's
if it was that, then yes, it'd be a lot worse.
Because if you ally them in, it's even better, right? Because they don't have monstrous charge, so they might not be knocking down heroes on horses, right? So then that might be better because it's effectively knockdown-esque. Maybe.
I just think you're only going to do like on average 2 wounds of it.
Yeah, but you got to be thinking about the spike damage.
It could be amazing.
Yeah, I've
just
heard people like use it and they've had like 8 to 10 wounds go off, and they've killed like the hero beforehand, and they've just said, oh well, we'll keep rolling just to see how many wounds I do get off, and I think he must have got like 8 off.
Yeah, it can happen, but that's all. I'm just thinking with my like consistency head in my head. I just want it to be. Yeah, I feel like it would just. I know me, and I would roll that against Bane and roll a 1 on the first time.
Well, you're needing 3s, aren't you? You're needing 3s, aren't you?
Yeah.
So
he's only got 3 might, so
Moving on.
that's all. Yeah, we'll move on. We'll go back to the Defenders of Erebor. It's all right.
We'll be here all day.
Yeah, we will be. Yeah, sorry. So Defenders of Erebor. There's a lot of people in here. So this is your big one. So we've got Dane Ironfoot, King Under the Mountain. We've got Thorin III, Stonehelm at 110 points.
Whoop whoop.
we've got Dwalin, champion of Erebor, Biffa, champion of Erebor, Bofa, champion of Erebor, Nori, champion of Erebor, Dory, champion of Erebor, Gloin, champion of Erebor. Iron Hills captain, who can have a goat. Brand, king of Dale. Bard, prince of Dale. A captain of Dale. An Iron Hills dwarf. An Iron Hills goat. Warriors of Dale. And Knights of Dale. All the people.
Yeah.
Cool. You must always have at least one named Erebor hero and at least one named Dale hero.
Ooh.
So you're paying a minimum of what, 210 points in heroes?
210, yeah, is the minimum.
Yeah.
Wow, no, not really. You can take Bard and like Biffa. So it's
Bard
like
and Biffa or both,
165.
yeah, so 165.
Yeah.
Only Erebor models can need Erebor. Only Dale can need Dale. All Iron Hills keyword replace for Erebor keyword. Cool.
Yeah.
Long-standing alliance. Dale models within 1 inch of a friendly Erebor model reroll ones to wound during the fight phase. Additionally, the other way around.
It's actually good. I do like this. It's better than what people think. People are knocking it, but it is still good. It's the Moria army bonus, right? And we know how good that is.
More
I still think it's good. Well, Moria is in Moria dwarfs. Sorry.
All right, get you.
But very situational.
Yeah. I don't think it should be.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. The idea is you have a front line of either dwarves or Dale, and you have a back line of
Yeah, the
dwarves
front
or-
line of Knights of Dale and the back line of Dwarf Spearmen, right?
That's the idea, but you see how long that lasts during a game.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean. Cool. In Super Happy Christmas Landy.
Exactly.
Then
Magical
you got a
Christmas
bond
land.
forged in war. So if this is the word, isn't it? If either Dane or Brand would be trapped at the start of the fight phase, and the other may declare a heroic combat without spending might. If successful, they must join their trapped allies' fight if possible. If this is not possible, then they must move as close as possible to their trapped ally.
Why do you have to be trapped?
We've got to save you. It's heroic. It's putting dramatic, heroic
just be
moments
outnumbered.
into the game.
Just be outnumbered in a fight.
You're always
That
going to
might be
be
too
fight,
strong.
right? If you're doing it right.
That might be too strong. But well, no, like if you like one gets charged by like 3 or 2. But I don't know. See, okay, so let's break it down a little bit, right? So some of the heroes, like Brand, kind of wants to be trapped because he gets to reroll his duel roll. He gets to reroll 1 dice in a duel and 1 dice to wound if he's trapped. So if you've got a banner, you've got 3 attacks with 2 rerolls on the duel. So you've basically got 5 dice. So chances are you should win that fight and you'll be okay. And then the heroic combat thing can work. So that's okay. That's not terrible. But then if it goes wrong, Brand may be your leader and may just die. Yeah, I don't like it. I'll be honest. I don't like it.
Also, if you don't have priority and you call this, what you're going to do is end up untrapping Brand, for instance.
Yes.
Because you're going to heroic combat across there, kill the thing that's trapping him, and allow him to be untrapped, which is the opposite of what he wants.
Which is the opposite of what he wants, correct.
Yeah.
And that, again, is Magical Christmas Land if you can get to him, which,
Yeah. I think it's one of those ones where it seems really good, and if you're playing with like a nice, fluffy kind of vibe, it'll be really fun. And you go, no, I'll save you, Brand. It'll be okay. But in reality...
But and again, you get some theme of it again. So I can see where they're going with it. So Bran wants to be trapped, and then Thorin, Prince of Thorin III, the Prince, when he calls a heroic, he can change his heroic that he's called. So if he's the one that's calling the combat, he can then change his mind and do a strike. But he still has to pay for that. So I don't know how that works, because it would be a free heroic he's calling, but then he can change that to a strike. So I don't know
At
how
which
that
point you probably have to
works.
spend the might.
I would
Yeah.
imagine so.
This-
But that's a bit.
This little interaction has a few iffy bits, doesn't it? But we won't go
quite
into
a
all of
few.
them.
No, but that's
But yeah, there's
one
a
of them.
few things you can do to exploit
What
it, shall we say?
Yeah, what constitutes being trapped is another one that has some sort of issues.
At what
we'll
point
move on
are
to
you
the next
trapped?
one.
Friendly models within 3 inches of Dane, Foreign, Brand, King of Dale, and Bard count as being in range of a banner.
So this is also broken and doesn't actually work as intended. If you read it very carefully, we talked about this at the weekend just gone, because he's got one word wrong in here. So he's got and instead of or at the end. So it means you have to be a warrior model, has to be in range of all 4 to get the banner effect. So it doesn't actually work.
Oh dear.
It's so dumb. It doesn't work.
Well, it does if you have them all standing next to each other.
All 4 heroes.
Oh dear. I'm so glad you pointed that out.
It's just awful. It's just not good.
Oh,
So it's like they've rushed it. But going back to reroll 1s to wound, sorry, really good for Knights of Dale, before I forget.
Yeah.
Because they got their spear, so they can't faint. So if they're in the front rank, they get reroll 1s to wound and +1 to wound. That's
Did it
good.
only have a
But
spear?
I don't know. But if you use the sword, you won't get +1 to wound, because their wall of blades.
They have a sword.
Their wall of blades is for the spear.
Oh, okay.
So
If you charge, you can do it. But yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
but yeah, it don't work, does it? So I mean, like, so this list, right? You'll take it at higher points because you've got the dwarfs, and so you got that stuff. But again, what's going against it? The Dale lads don't have 3+ shoot.
Yeah.
So they're hitting on a 4. So why would you not just take crossbows that are strength 4 hitting on 4s? All right, they can't move and shoot, but they're strength 4, and they still hit on 4. So like, if this legion would be way better, just if they still hit on a 3. I don't get why they don't hit on a 3. Doesn't make sense to me.
I think it would be pretty unbalanced if it was that.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I don't agree.
If you've got Elvish bows, which is just going to be sat back shooting all game, and then you've got to get all the way past them. So if you think about it, if I was to do it that way, I would have front rank of Iron Hills, in shield wall, defense 8, with spear support by Dale guys with bows behind, and you've just got to walk at that. You're going to get a shot to oblivion on 3+, basically elven bows, and then when you do hit it, you don't kill it, and then you're dying against strength 4 with rerolls to 1 and heroes and all that going off. So I think it would be way imbalanced if it was that. Way imbalanced.
Agree to disagree, I'm afraid. It just, like, the whole reason you take Dale is for the 3+ shoot. Like, there's no reason to take them otherwise, because the Knights of Dale are 11 points. For 1 more point, I just have a Dwarf Warrior that's strength 4 and can go to D8. Like, that whole reason why Dale is there is for that shoot in my eyes. And it's just, without it, it's just a bit meh. Like, I just won't take them with the bows. I won't do it. So I won't run this legion, because I'm better off taking Old Dane in Error Acclaimed, who is now a 6-inch banner on his own for normal troops, and take crossbows and dwarfs. Like, it's just better.
Yeah, I think the main what I was a bit annoyed about most about this Legendary Legion is just the fact that same with like the Dale, there's just like room for that little bit extra to make it better. Like,
I agree.
I don't understand why they made the 2 kings and then the 2 sons have the exact same rule. Like, I get like, you know, they're meant to be like paired together and work together. So you've got the 2 fathers and 2 sons, like, and the 2 sons are working together and the 2 fathers are working together. But make it different. or yeah, it's just
Well, I just
my
I
idea.
don't see.
Personally, I
don't-
think it's a bit laziness, but there we go.
I think it's laziness, and I'm not a game designer, right? I'm not a game designer. I don't know
No.
how it works. I'll put my hands up that. But for me, we've got 2 evil legions that get +1 to wound when there's an Orc and an Orc fighting the same target. Why can we not have that in this legion, which would make it way better? And then I don't care about the 3+ to shoot. Or why don't Knights of Dale get shield wall when they're next to a dwarf? Way better. Knights of Dale will be way better. People will go out and buy Knights of Dale. It'll be that good, but it won't be too good. I don't. Might be best to move on. This ruined my hopes and dreams. Generally, I rebought Dale again, hoping it was going to be good, and I'm not sure I'd ever run it.
So what we need to do is, Sean, I know you're watching. Come and show Lee how to use this legion, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, there's a quick note though. I do like Foreign as 110 points. I do think he's quite.
Yeah.
And they also reduced Brand as well. I think Brand was 120 before. I think it's 110 now. So yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Happy days. Ross, you're up, mate. It's the host of the Dragon Emperor. Right. So should we read the things, or should we go and look at what to do first? Let's read the things. So you can have the Dragon Emperor of Rune for 170 points. Ratabi, General of the Dragon. Borga, the Conjurer. Dragon Knights with some horses if you want. Eastling Captains. Eastling War Priests on a horse. The model's back. It's been years.
So
Eastling
good.
Warriors, which you can pay to upgrade to a Black Dragon for 2 points if you want, Ross. An Eastling Cataphracts, which you can pay to upgrade to a Black Dragon for 2 points if you want, Ross.
Well, imagine if you got that for free. Wouldn't that be really good, or maybe too overpowered?
A Dragon Cult Acolyte.
Really jealous.
Or a Runish War Drake. Right, so if you're doing that, you're gonna have the Dragon Emperor as your leader. Cool. Noticeable omission is Amder, because obviously he was at Penal Fields, and is now in the bin for everyone at home. Dragon Cults, Eastling Warriors, and Cataphracts do not need to pay the points to be upgraded to Black Dragons. This upgrade is free if they are being led by the Dragon Emperor or Dragon Knights.
It's only if it's in the Emperor's
or Dragon Knights
and Dragon Knights war bands, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. So not Ratabi or Burga. Warriors, Cataphracts, upgrade to Black Dragons for free. And as the Emperor is legend, and the Dragon Knights are not. That's what, 24 free upgrade slots.
Yeah. What is in points wise?
So how
For
Dragon Knight, could you get 6 or 12?
6 minor
6,
heroes.
yeah, so 24. So you can have
and then
48 free points right there.
Yep.
Nice.
48
Cool.
Cool. Lovely.
It's pretty good, that, isn't it?
Heroes of Eastlings. Eastling models may reroll a d6 in a dual roll. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Be awkward if they could already do that, wouldn't it? No quarter was asked. Eastling models receive +1 courage when their force is broken. That's a standard Eastling one, yeah? Cool.
Yeah, it's just
So all you get is the free Black Dragons and then the reroll a d6 in a dual.
Yeah.
Cool. Shall we have a look at what the old Dragon Emperor does, shall we? What your 170 points for? The old 170 points. 170 points. 170 points. So the Dragon Emperor of Rune for 170 points. Okay, cool. He's move 6. He's fight 6. 4 up shot. He's strength 4. His defense 7. It's not even carrying a shield. He's got 3 attacks. He's got 3 wounds. He's got courage 6. He's might free. He's will free. He's fate free. The Dragon Emperor Rune and his Palanquin count as a single model for the purpose of working out a forces break point. The Emperor's Glaive. It's an elven-made spear that may use the faint special strike. Additionally, the bearer may use shielding, even though he doesn't have a shield. And the Dragon Emperor Rune may not support whilst mounted upon his thing. So he gets reroll ones to wound if he wants to use the faint special strike. And he can shield. So that's nice, Got an elven-made glaive.
Yeah.
Without the elven-made
shield.
keyword. Oh, yeah, it's elven-made, yeah. Cool. Was that Ross? Lee, sorry? What would you say?
It's when you shield as well as Alvin made, right? So
Yes. So you
Yes.
still
quite
got
often you
the,
shield and
Yeah,
it's not
elven-made shield
Alvin-made.
as well, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's got his magic hat. So his magic hat gives him resistance to magic.
anti-magic hat.
Anti-magic
Why
hat.
not?
He's got resolve, strike, strength, and defense.
He's got
Two good
defense
ones.
too. I didn't realize.
He's got defense too, yeah. He's got a
Hard as
phalanx
points.
keyword, because why wouldn't he? And then he's got friendly Eastling models will benefit from the Dragon Emperor Rune Standfast, regardless of range. This will also affect Eastling heroes. So a nice cheeky board-wide Standfast at Courage 6 there for you. Then you've got the Palanquin that's rolled into this.
Page number 2.
You might want to speed up your talking.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much of this there was. Right, it's carried by 6 black dragons, each under a shield and sword. The black dragons do not take spaces up in the warband. This is a mount, the Dragon Emperor of Rune. However, it does not act like normal cavalry and therefore will not confer the cavalry keyword. Instead, it will be treated as an infantry model. That's nice. That's kept it under control a little bit. Whilst the Palanquin has 3 or more wounds remaining, it moves as normal. If it's reduced to 2 wounds, its move is reduced to 3. It starts with 6. So you've got to get it to half, and then it can only move half. If it has only a single wound, then it cannot move at all. When the Palanquin is hit by a shooting attack, the shooter must make an in-the-way test. On a 1 to 4, the Palanquin is hit. On a 5 up, the Dragon Emperor is hit. The Palanquin is a defense 6. So it's basically just shooting off the lads underneath it. If the Dragon Emperor dismounts or is slain whilst riding it, replace the Palanquin with a number of black dragons equal to the number of wounds it has remaining. They do not need to make a courage test if they flee. These models, along with the Dragon Emperor, should be placed within the footprint of the Palanquin. So what you can do there is you can pay 170 points to the Dragon Emperor, right? And then you can immediately dismount him, and bam, you gain yourselves 6 10-point models.
You do lose a fair bit though by doing it, and you'll get to
I
that
know,
in a minute.
but you that's 60
It's
points
still
you gain for free.
It's insane, isn't it?
And then you've got all the upgrades in the thing for free as well. So you're 48 points worth of free upgrades, whatever it was.
Yeah.
170 points. He cannot be knocked prone on his Palanquin for any reason, with the exception of a direct hit by a siege engine. Yeah. Assault on Helm's Deep, coming out the box some more. The Royal Palanquin and any model riding it cannot be affected by the hurl or barge brutal power attacks. Additionally, the Palanquin will not be moved by the Sorcerer's Blast or Cool Winds, though it will still suffer any other effects if applicable. Then we get on to its other special buffs. So it is a 12-inch banner. As these banners are attached to the Palanquin itself, the Dragon Emperor of Rune and the Black Dragons do not suffer the -1 penalty for carrying a banner, despite the fact that they're carrying a literal person. The friendly Eastern warriors within 6 inches of the Palanquin who can draw line of sight to it gain +1 fight.
Okay.
So you've got fight 5 black dragons for free with a free upgrade.
But if you dismount, you lose that banner and the fight value.
Yes. So obviously don't dismount, but
I have
that's-
thoughts on this model, but I want to hear what Ross
yeah,
has
Ross,
to say
what are your
first.
thoughts on that? 170 points.
Well, first of all, I'll address the points. First of all.
Yeah.
Obviously, loads of people saying, oh, he should be like 200, 210 points. He's way too cheap. I don't agree with that personally. I think he is about right to what he is. I would have given him 170, 180 points for what he's got. If you take the hero without the palanquin, my biggest comparison would be to Thorin's dad. So he's got the board wise standfast as well. He's defense 8 though.
Oh, Thrain.
Yeah. So I think he's 120 points.
He is, yeah.
So he is like, and he's got the 3 might, 3 will, 3 fate. I don't think he has as many heroic actions, but I wouldn't say that costs
No.
amounts. And you know, the Emperor does have like a few more extra rules, but in terms of the value of those rules, I don't think that's a lot. So in my view, he is a 120 point hero, just on his legs. Then obviously you've got the palanquin, which I will take as being about a 50 point cost, 60 point cost, depending on where you're going. And you get a lot of bang for your buck. And obviously him all together, you could say he is worth more 170, but he's really strong. He has a lot less weaknesses than a lot of people thought. Obviously, most people thought, oh, he's just going to get hurled off or whatever, which was going to be his weakness. And, you know, that's all you got to do. Just got to monsters charge him or hurl him or barge him or whatever. Magic, whatever is going to be the answer. And I'm glad that isn't the answer, because it would just be not fun. It happened like in a maelstrom and he's just like off it like first turn, and it would just ruin the fun with it, and he would be taken a lot less. So I think a lot of steps have been taken for him to be playable and actually last. But the fact that there's also a lot of comparison with, oh, well, why is Boromir with his banner 200 points and this guy is basically exactly the same and it's bigger and all that sort of thing? Well, Boromir can't lose his banner. The Emperor can, unless it's shattered, obviously.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But yeah, but how often are you going to come across a shattered shaman?
Yeah.
Really, not that lot. So, whereas this, you know, it's if the Dragon Emperor is not in the right place, and obviously, you know, the more wheels it takes, the slower it is, and he's not in the right place to do a lot, you're probably going to end up dropping the palanquin and him having to then come out on foot to, you know, make sure he's doing what he needs to do and you're getting your points worth out of him. So again, he's not going to be doing a lot, I don't think. He is literally just going to be standing there and giving buffs. Which at the end of the day, if that's all he's doing, is he worth 170 points? Well, not really. He's more of a high point banner if he's literally not doing anything else. So is he going to be, you know, maxing out and doing everything he possibly can be doing all the time? No, he's going to be using the planking for so long, and then, you know, you're not even going to be looking at potentially his other half, and sometimes, and obviously that can switch. So yeah, I think he's really, really good. He's almost like an auto include and wouldn't leave without him, but with the other heroes, there's a lot more options. But yeah, I think there's a lot of cool tricks with him. So especially with his other heroes, there's a lot of synergy. I think with what I've seen and what I've looked into, so especially with the newer heroes and the magic and stuff. So quality.
So sorry, there's a little thing I missed off when I was reading through it out loud. Because unlike other mounts, the Dragon Emperor does not use any of the characteristics of the palanquin. Instead, he always uses his own set of characteristics. Even if one of the palanquins is better, if Dragon Emperor wins a dual roll, except when shielding, then in addition to his own strikes, the palanquin may make a number of strikes equal to its remaining wounds.
Yes.
And they cannot
Which
make
again
special
is
strikes with this.
that's more of a deterrent, if anything. I think a lot of people, when they first heard it, thought, oh, he's just going to be like going into like a hero and then like chopping him up and having 7 strikes against a hero and he's going to absolutely annihilate everything. I don't think so, because he's going to be behind his phalanx line, and you're gonna want to trap him with like a hero and something else, but you don't want to be just chucking in like 6 regular warriors where he's gonna win and then likely kill majority of them. So I think, especially with like with Goblin Town as well, and like really low defense, you're not going to be wanting to chuck in as many goblins as you can, because he's going to chop up, at least 4, maybe 5, maybe more. So I think that's more of a deterrent than anything, in my opinion, anyway.
I think that does lead it himself into a hero killer really more than a troop killer, though, in that regard, because you will probably end up picking on heroes if you can, I guess, because like you said, people aren't going to be chucking loads of dudes into him.
I would be wading him into combat.
Yeah, so would I.
So just on the comparison's sake, sorry, just quickly, because you mentioned a couple of the ones that I was also thinking about. So yes, if you're saying the Dragon Emperor on foot is 110, 120 points, Boromir's banner is 40 points. So that makes this guy 50 points. The only difference is that its range is 12 inches rather than 6 inches. And if you knock it over with a siege weapon, it's gone. Or if you kill it, it's gone. Which makes it more vulnerable, yes. But it's slightly different. The Dragon Emperor, this whole profile, the plank with everything included, Prince Imrahil. How many points is Imrahil? A very similar amount of points, if I remember correctly.
I think he's 160 with the horse.
I think he's 160 on horse with Lance, yeah, 160 on horse with Lance. So he's got a 12-inch standfast, a 12-inch banner. He's got a +1 fight within 3 inches, but only to specific things, which is the same here, because you get all these Sling Warriors, Cool. But again, you have to kill Imrahil to take his, but he's way softer. He's the same defense, I suppose, but not the
he has less attacks.
Less attacks, even unless you,
Yeah, but he does get the knockdown, and he is 4 attacks if you're going against.
Yeah, so he'd have 8, but the Dragon Emperor would have 9 at full health.
Dragon Emperor got 9.
Yeah,
if on full. So controversial, right? I actually think he's pointed okay. I actually agree with the 170 points. It just feels bad, but I agree that's probably where he's at, but it does feel bad. The one thing for me, there's 2 things for me that make me okay with him being that points level now is, one, yes, if he dismounts or gets off the palanquin somehow, you lose the banner and you lose the fight value. Fine, that's good. You've lost that. That is a good negative for him coming off. That's fine. The other one is the size of his base is no joke. So if you go and walk around, so I did it with Dewey. Me and Dewey had a good chat about this at the weekend at his event. We walked around the tables and we said, right, the size of that base, you are not fitting that base and many models through many gaps in your typical tournament board that has a decent amount of terrain. So he will be struggling to stay with the rest of his army a lot of the time. He's going to just struggle to move around the board because he can't fly or anything. So I think it's going to be one of those that until you put it on the board, I think you're going to go, oh, actually, this is actually really hard to move around.
Yeah.
And people are still just chuck one model at him and just slow him down, and he won't move the entire game because of that base size. It's why trolls struggle, because the base size is so big.
Yeah.
And I think he will suffer from that as well. And
his
I think
base is bigger than a troll.
Exactly. And like genuinely,
what
we
size
walk
is
around
he
the
on,
table.
Ross?
80 millimeter.
80 mil.
20 mil bigger than a troll.
But smaller than a Gundabad troll?
I don't know what size, whether they're the same.
Are they on hundreds?
They're 100, so smaller than that, yeah.
But it was just funny, like we literally walked around some tables and was like, right, well, he'll fit through that gap, but like on his own, nobody else. And it's just like, it's going to be really tough, I think, to move it around as good as you want. So I think that's the only thing that's holding him back. But he is good, man. Like, good Lord. That is point costed very strongly, because that's just him on his own. you forget about the extra 36 points of Black Dragons he's bringing as well, like the upgrades. It's like, good lord.
With the
Oh, no.
Legion, yeah.
It's the same size as Gunnerbad Troll.
He's very
Really?
good, man. He's very good. And
Yeah.
he might be too cheap, but I can see why he is at that points cost because of that base size.
I also think
personally.
when they've tested him around things like Dale. So he has been hit by siege weapons. And I can just see it in their head where they've played a couple of tester games and that wind lance has just gone bang. Turn 1, it's gone.
Yeah.
And people,
Or that
and
Isengard Ballista.
yeah, it's just gone. Turn 1, bang, gone. Your Palanquin's gone.
The one thing I wish was a little bit more of a negative, though, is his movement and the wounds thing. Realistically, Easterlings are going to have a march and they're going to have drum. So realistically, he can be at you turn 2. So the movement thing is irrelevant because he'll already be where he needs to get to. So that isn't a strong enough negative in my eyes.
I don't know if it is, because what you can do is obviously once that's happened, if you chop him down, it's when he can only move 3 inches. Like being only able to move 3 inches once the lines are met, he's stuck where he is. Especially if we play against Cav or something, they can just go, cool, see ya.
But then again, it's not going to really work out that way, right? Because you'll either chuck one hero into him or like one model. So you're never really going to end up wounding him. Like Ross said, it's a really big deterrent with the attacks and stuff.
Yeah.
But I do think he's
with an Elven made blade.
Exactly. Like, like what hero are you chucking into that? Like, you know?
Oh yeah, it's got to be a big one.
So and he's definitely not going into him. The Goblin King.
With the majority of the game, you are going to be, you know, keeping him safe because you do want the Palanquin to, last as long as you possibly can. But I can't see myself. I can't see, for me anyway, during my games, I can't see him finishing the game on the Palanquin that often.
Oh, I think he will.
For me, anyway, not with the scenarios and the objectives and whole grounds and all that sort of thing.
I think if he does, you've won.
Late game anyway.
Basically, I think if he does finish on there, you've won.
Yeah, essentially. And the other thing that is a negative is you need line of sight for the Palanquin +1 fight.
Yeah.
Which again is small, but that will come up.
Oh, it will.
Because of his base size. Because of his base size.
In the way and all that sort of thing.
He is quite vertically tall though, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
But yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Like obviously Berger and Ratabi have been out for a while. They're both pretty good, man.
Yeah, they are.
Basically. I don't think we need to go too much into them.
I think they work really well with the Emperor, especially Borgia and Tremor.
Yeah, real nice.
And
you can lob an enchanted blades onto him. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean you could
go.
You could have either
Ratabi in there too.
The Emperor be in combat with something, Tremor into the combat, like not against a hero. Obviously that knocks everybody in the fight prone. Well, the Emperor isn't going to go prone because he can't go prone. And if you do it with Ratabi, she's got the unyielding battle stance. So if you're going against a hero and the hero is in fight with Ratabi, Tremor, he goes prone. Obviously, Ratabi will go prone as well, and you get that 4-up, which you might to stand back up again. Instantly got prone hero against Ratabi, who's doubling and re-rolling the wounds and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, instant cool stuff.
I just love the fact that if someone does chuck a spicy hero into him, you can use that War Priest to chuck enchanted blades, not enchanted blades, Blade Wrath onto Dragon Emperor, so that all of those strikes are coming in like strength 6 or whatever it is. But to get a Blade Wrath, that'll be fun. But yeah, I think this Legion is quality. And will be around a lot.
You will see it.
And
I think so.
And has got in bid.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right? You're always just going to take him. There's no reason not to. So you're not going to see Amder anymore.
Also, you're just great little way to ally fight 5 stuff into a lot of evil armies now.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
Fight 5
marvellous.
with a bit Mordor.
What is it? Is it 250 points for him and some Black Dragons?
Marvelous.
So it is 11. Well, it depends. It's 11 points with, which is Black Dragons and Pikes.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to take about 8. So that's like 230, 240.
Supporting some strength 4 Morannons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can have strength 5 piercing axe stuff on the front, and then fight 5 behind with a banner.
5-5.
Yeah.
It's going to be everywhere, man. I'm telling you.
Happy days.
Happy
I mean, you don't
days.
even have to
Right, we've got
use,
2
like-
more, boys. We need to carry on. It's been like over an hour.
Oh, yeah, true. And we've got to the 2 fun ones. So,
gonna fall
Felbeings and
asleep in a minute.
Mirkwoods. Right, this one's one of those where it's like, cool. We can just skim past this. So you got Razgush. He's fun. We like Razgush. Orc Captains, Orc Shamans, Orc Taskmasters, Orc Drummers, Spider Queen. Yeah. Orc
Your
Warriors, Warg Riders, Orc Trackers, Mirkwood Spiders, Giant Spiders, Fellwargs, and Bat Swarms. All the fun beastie boys. It's got to have Razgush. He's your leader. All your infantry gets Wooden Creature. All friendly models gain Hatred Elf, which is +1 to wounds. And Razgush gets +1 fight when he's engaged with an enemy elf. So Razgush goes to fight 6 against elves. Really good if you're fighting elves.
Yeah, really good.
I am going to use this on Tuesday night live
Nice.
against against the
Tuesdays.
Defenders of Helm's Deep.
A few hours.
So the shooting's slightly terrifying, but there are going to be some elves, so we'll see what happens. Spider Queen might just be dead, who knows? It's Spider Queen with some buffs instead of losing buffs. That's nice. People already allied
good.
Mordor and Spider Queens together, so
And
cool.
also you can take orcs and stuff in their war bands and stuff now instead of just
Yeah.
spider.
I think it'll be good. I think you'll see it. I think it'll be
Yeah,
decent.
I think that's it's just solid. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
You can do
the
it.
main hero guy, Razgush, I think he's really, really good.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a bit annoying that, you already get that bonus of the Hatred Elf as long as they're in the same army as him. They automatically get it. So, if it was just his warband, for example, then but obviously now in the Legendary Legion, it's the whole army. That would make more sense. But I'd like to have a game of him with him and Gothmog. So you got the Hatred of Elf and the Hatred of Man. I think that would be quite cool.
That would be.
Thing to do. So it's a bit more spread then.
Cover all bases.
All right.
I like
But
that.
this is fun.
The biggie.
Filth.
The assault on Lothlorien.
Filth.
One that
Oh,
everyone's talking about.
yeah, this is taking attention away from the Easterling one somehow. So you got Mushkuj, Orc Shaman, Orc Captains, Orc Shamans, Druzag, the Beast Caller, Ashrak,
Woo.
Warrior Goblin Captains, Warrior Goblin Shamans, Wild Warg Chieftain. Do check, is it the Wild Warg Chieftain or is it Wild Warg Chief? Like, is he a named?
No, he's not named. You can take
Fantastic.
multiple.
Wild Warg, Giant Spider, Orc Captain, Warg Rider, Orc Tracker, Moria Goblin Warrior, Moria Goblin Prowler, Warg Marauder, and Bat Swarms. So it must always have Musga and at least one named Goblin hero. Now it's fine. You're going to anyway. Only Orc hero models can lead Orcs, only Goblins can lead Goblins. Spider models may only be included in warbands led by Druzag or Ashrak. In this Legendary Legion, Musga, Druzag, Ashrak are all heroes of valor, and Shamans are heroes of fortitude. That's good, because otherwise this would be a nightmare to build a list for.
Yeah, much needed, much needed.
Cool. Cover of Darkness. All of your scenarios are now Clash by Moonlight, basically. It's dark. It's 12. You can't see for 12 inches away, so you can't shoot. You can't use magical powers. So even Legolas can't shoot further than 12 inches away because he can't see further than 12 inches away. However, it is much harder to avoid a shot in the dark, so all shooting attacks get +1 to wound when rolling to wound. Siege engines can still target any models more than 12 inches away, however, they only hit on a 6. Cave Dweller special rule models can see as normal. So, you know, some people are excited because suddenly more goblins with an 18-inch range can sit outside and shoot you and get a +1 to wounds. If you map it out, you only get like 5-10 goblins with bows. And they hit on 5s, and they'll still be running on like 5s anyway. That's not the way. Ruthless Savagery. Friendly orc and goblin models gain a bonus of +1 to wound in fight in which the opposing model is outnumbered. Note that the supporting models do not count for either side for purposes of rule. So yeah, that's fun. So it's not if they're in the same fight together, it's outnumbered, so you can have 2 goblins or 2 orcs.
Cordale.
Dark magics. Friendly models can reroll any number of dice when making a casting roll. Fantastic. Who wants some reliable enraged beasts? Venom back spiders. If your force contains Ashrak, all giant spiders in your force can go into Venom back spiders for free. You don't know, that gives them the Venom keyword. That gives them reroll all failed wounds.
Oh yeah.
So, how many special rules?
But they're all really good.
Yeah, needed. It's needed though. It's needed.
Is
The killing. Yeah.
Is
well,
it?
The killing power has got to come from somewhere, and there's no heroes with killing power whatsoever. So you have to have the killing power.
It's worth noting that something similar to this has won events recently without this. The Ashrak Druzag combo has won some events recently in the last year without this. Now it has this.
Still needs it.
So the key models in this, just to pick up a few, I think personally. So you've got Druzag, who can now chuck a really reliable Fury up for all of your beasts, which is nice. You've got him also chucking out enraged beasts really easily, and Ashrak with his Shroud of Shadows, which is great. That's now like a fairly reliable cast. You've got the Venom back spiders, which are so potent, especially when you enrage them. But for me, Goblin Prowlers. So Goblin Prowlers, if you don't know, get +1 to wound because they've got 2-handed weapons. They get +1 to wound if you're trapped because they've got backstabbers. And if they outnumber you in a fight, then I'll get another +1 to wound. So that's +3 to wound.
And throwing daggers +1 to wound.
And their throwing daggers have +1 to wound.
Yes.
So if you
And
combo
can't be
them with some of the beasts that have been enraged, or a bat swarm, or something like that, you can have a great time picking things apart. But you do need to be very careful with how you do that. You'd lose a lot of your fight value buffs. So your goblins are stuck with a terrible fight value. Your orcs are stuck with a terrible fight value. There's nothing you can do about it. That's the biggest weakness in here. There's no strikers.
Nope.
No.
So you're not going to be able to deal with heroes reliably, really, unless you have a lot of fun with bat swarms. I do think this one's going to have a very high skill curve.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like, if you have never used this kind of list before and you pick this up, you are getting yourself tabled pretty quick. If you know what you're doing and have been using this list for a while, so someone like Rowan May, who has used this list to win events recently, I reckon he's having a great time, but we will see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. It could be that it's actually pants and we're all overreacting.
Yeah.
But because it is very soft, it will go down quickly. If you muck it up, you're in real big trouble.
And I think the darkness thing, so you can only shoot, so you play Clash, right? Even when I play shooting armies, I don't mind Clash. If you've got bows, I think you'll laugh. I think you enjoy it because +1 to wound is no joke.
Clash is good for shooting armies.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
bad for crossbows because you can't move and shoot. What I found.
What it's really
bows,
good for is throwing weapons.
Yes.
In particular, throwing
Incredible.
spears.
Incredible.
So a Rohan army with lots of throwing spears is going to look at this and go, cool.
You'll tear
I'm
it
probably
apart.
going to get 2 turns of throwing spears because I'll hit you with one, then back away and hit you another. Those throwing spears are going to wound you on 4s pretty much across the board.
Yeah.
That's going to suck.
Yeah.
There's definitely things that could go against it. I mean, I can see Mirkwood Rangers still absolutely annihilating this
Yeah.
because they've all got they've got the Stalker scene. So yeah, I can't see you, but I can see you in 12. You still can't see me until you get after 6.
And then
So-
Hatred Spider.
And Hatred Spider. So I'm gonna chop you down.
Yeah.
You're gonna outnumber me. So but obviously I've got my daggery stuff. So yeah, there's counters against it there.
I think this is a 600 point bad boy.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
Yeah,
it's
when you get all the
450.
toys.
Yeah, I think you need 600 or so to make it work properly. And yeah, it's a very, what it will be is fun.
Yeah, it'll be
Yes.
fun.
Even
no
to play
matter,
against.
I think it'll be fun to play against as well.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be lots of cool models flying around the table. There's going to be threats coming from all angles, which to some people will stress them out a little bit because you don't know what's going to hit you next. But to everyone else, it should be real fun. I've got the models for it, so might see that on the channel soon. That'll be fun.
That'll be cool.
Have I used it lots? No. Am I going to get slapped around a bit? Yes. But we're here for it. So yeah.
I think it's gonna not really enjoy 24-inch deployment as much.
No.
Because first move before you've shot, everyone's probably either moved 9 or 10 inches, so they've sort of made up that extra range that you've got anyway. And yeah, just mega killy heroes are going to be a bit of a problem. But yeah, got enough troops, got enough traps. They'll do good. They'll do good.
And then I'm barely going to mention it, but there is an appendix in here that was built as an appendix of the Hobbit era. What they've done is they've taken the scenarios from the Hobbit book and they've put them in here and then put one other scenario in and gone, there you go, look, that's
completely
now you've
different.
got an appendix. Isn't that exciting? Basically.
And this book
What?
is something else.
You can see why it's been delayed. My theory, and I might be wrong, is that there was once a Lothlorien Mirkwood Legion in there, and they decided it was broken.
Yeah.
And or awful, one of the two, and but broken. I took it out last minute and chucked in that Dale, the first Dale one, which is like, here's your Dale stuff. Now they've got Swarm Protector. See you later. Without really thinking about it too much, chucked it in there. Off you bob. Happy days. That's my theory. I have absolutely no evidence of that. Other than why is it not an Elf Legion? And why the 2 Dale ones? That seems weird. Basically,
I fully back that, and I fully believe that is exactly what happened. They panicked and went, Dale.
It's also potentially, and I might be wrong, the worst proofread Middle-earth book we've had for a long time.
Yeah, I pointed out a couple already as well.
Yeah. There's just a few little things where it's just like, and it's not the rules writers, just
No.
just typography errors.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who pointed it out on the various Facebook groups if you want to go and join in the moaning. However, what it is a big chunky boy full of stuff. And there are loads of scenarios. And for those that really enjoy the narrative scenarios, you're gonna have a great time. Basically. There's some cool legions in it. You like the legions for the most part.
The evil
Some
one.
of them, what?
The evil ones.
Oh, power creep, power creep, power creep.
There's my other, like, the last little thought I had in the Eastlings book, right? Is that the Eastlings Legion is that Eastlings were trash for so long, and they needed to make it better. So maybe we're all just going, they're too good, but actually this one model is really good. And that one model makes the Eastlings actually relevant, whereas before they were kind of, no offense to people who have been taking them and doing okay with them. But even that's been basically since Ratabi came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically it's like, oh god, I could potentially lose to them now. There's potential things, there's things I have to think about and worry about now. It's like, well, that's a good thing.
It's not as you can lose to, you might actually see one at an event.
Yeah, but then it's also I think obviously despite it having its flaws, what they've done with Eastlings, I think also has hope for other factions like Canned, and that sort of thing to potentially have some, attention in the future, and then everyone has got their own thing then. So
just for me,
sorry, go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just like my closing thought on it was like.
That's right. I've got another following closing thought.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you. I'll go. Then you go. Because you can end it. For me, as a primarily good player, this book genuinely has nothing for me. For me, the evil legions are just not even like better. They are better than the good legions, definitely, but it just seems like they've had more thought go into them with their rules and the things that they can do in the army composition. Whereas the good, it just seems like they've panicked, they've chucked something together, and it's anti-synergy, and it just doesn't make sense. And for me, it has left me very disappointed. And that could have been because I was looking forward to it so long. But yeah, it just, for me, I'm just full of, there's nothing for me. And that's a shame. And hopefully I'll change my mind, but we'll see. However,
they are still available, a couple of them on our website. So if you do want to
play evil,
have a look. So my question to everyone then before we go away is, first of all, what's the one thing that you're actively excited to try out from this book? Ross?
Well, answering straight away. It's got to be Eastlings, and the Emperor is probably, and the new heroes, because I haven't got around to playing them yet. But yeah, all the new heroes for Easterlings is probably the one thing I'm most looking forward to. And then eventually, hopefully, the Runish Drakes when they come out.
Oh yeah, we completely forgot to mention those bad boys.
Mention them, but
Lee, is there a thing that you're excited to play with?
There is one thing.
What is it?
Erebor Reclaimed, normal army list, but with Old Dane, who is now a 6-inch banner, even for warriors, not just heroes. That I think is going to be really good.
Cool. And for me, I'm quite excited by this Warrior Goblin Spider fun, and also bears, because it's just fun in it. We like bears. And then if I could trouble you for a moment of wild speculation, if we get a new source book in the next kind of 6 months, where do you want to go next? Where do we go? We've done Gondor, we've done Rohan, we've done the Shire, we've done the Necromancer, we've done this. Where's left? Where do we go?
Question. Good question.
Lee has his hand up immediately. What?
Arnor and Angmar. They can fix Angmar. Well, but like they can change it. They can change the things around that needs to be changed and make Arnor a thing. Reprint Arnor models, and Arnor Angmar is my shout.
What was the
Or Last Alliance?
What was the old Angmar book called again? Was it The Rise of the Necromancer?
Maybe
Something like
Yeah,
that.
I might have dabbled a bit in it as well.
Or like I said, or Last Alliance. I wouldn't be surprised that cash in on that Amazon TV show coming.
Yeah.
Ross, have you got any wild speculations?
Oh God. It's hard to say really. I mean, they could, as I said, they could go towards like canned and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, good shout.
I'm just trying to think of what if anything that needs attention. But yeah, I think the last alliance would be the big one. I think Rivendell needs a bit of attention, not necessarily having more added to it. I mean, it's got a lot already, but just in terms of new models and things like that, I think Rivendell is in need of an upgrade.
I think both Rivendell and Numenor need troop options.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's my view on that.
To me, that screams more like new starter box. That's what that would be.
Yeah.
More than the source book, you know.
Yeah.
But
my one would be the canned Harrod Mahud area, because then we can finally get a reprint on camels. You can chuck a named Mahud person in and a named canned person in, so they can have some heroes of legend, and give them a bit of fun.
I think everywhere's going to have a hero of legend eventually.
Yeah. But I would quite like to see that area get some more love. And then they can come back to Gondor and give Minas Tirith Legendary Legion. After it got a whole book all about it, and it didn't get a Legendary Legion on its own. I'm fuming. No, there's an entire book about Gondor, and it's not got a single Legendary Legion.
That's hilarious.
It's got Men in the West. That's it. There's no like defenders on the wall. There's no Osgiliath. Oh, there was Rangers of Aphelion.
Yeah, I guess so.
But well, not anymore. But yeah, that's
we can now. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With it being a bit of a stretch, I would have liked to, as a last thought, maybe they could potentially go further ahead in terms of after the ring, and potentially with like an old Aragon, like you've got an old Dane, like an old Aragon going to like Mahud and all that sort of stuff, and retaking the old Gondor territories that was all lost and all that sort of thing. So that could
seems that would be really cool. All right. Thanks for sticking with us if you're still here. And don't forget to drop some likes and subscribes on the videos and stuff. And Lee, what should they do?
Ring the bell.
Bye.